Hi everyone, Mr. Brandt here again, ready for another art lesson and project that I really hope makes you think a little bit and how we're going to create this work of art. What this is called, I call it the alphabet artwork, okay? So we're going to use our name to create a work of art. And there's a couple ways that you can do this, okay? One way is to do two lines, okay? You're going to do two lines because you're going to actually print at the top of your paper your first and last name. Now, you can do it as a scene, meaning you can take the different objects and letters and create a whole scene, or you can do it in rows like you would write your name. So let's start with how we would write our name. And this is good to do anyway, just to get your ideas on paper, okay? So at the very top, what I want you to do, you're going to turn your paper horizontally, and at the very top, I want you very neatly to print your first and last name, okay? So print that in. Now, we're not really going to, in our drawing, we can put letters to show what it is, but we're going to be using objects or animals or things that start with each of the letters of your name. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do my first name right about here. So I'm going to draw a nice line across, and then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to draw a nice line across like so. Now, what I want to do is I could just take and say, okay, I'm going to split up M-I-C-H-A-E-L. Now, this could be your rough sketch if you decide, and then you can do a final picture later, or you can make this your final. It depends how lightly and nice you draw, so if you make a mistake, you can erase. Then down here, I'm going to print my last name, B-R-A-N-D-T. Now, here's what I want you to do for your creative ideas. I want you to think of your M. What object or thing starts with the letter M? So you're not going to actually do a block letter M or anything like that. I want you to think of something. So off the top of my head, I can think of motorcycle. I can think of monkey, money. There are so many things that start with the letter M. And then I'm going to go through each letter and do that. So let's say I want to do a motorcycle. So I might sketch nice, and this is just my rough sketch. I'm just kind of sketching it in like so. Maybe the other part, here's the little light, here's this, and I'm just kind of sketching it in. And you can see I'm just kind of sketching in lightly because I'm going to go in and ink. I'm going to actually make this a character. So I'm going to make it kind of like a motorcycle cartoon. And so I'm going to do an M. Whatever your first letter is, you can start by sketching. Maybe I'll put a mouth right here like so. And then there's a little bar that comes down here. The tailpipes come out. And you can see I'm just kind of sketching it in right now. The other wheel is going to be in this area. There's a little gas, all the different parts. Then we got to get that seat like so. And again, I'm just doing a very rough, quick sketch like this. Maybe I want to make that a little bigger here. And you're going to take your time and do that. So maybe I do the M is a motorcycle. And then I've got to think of what could be an I, and I'm going to draw that in. What could be the C and the H and the A. Now, one thing I do have, and I will have on Schoology, so if you didn't see it when you went to click on this, I will put this sheet. And this just gives you some ideas. Now you'll have to zoom in to your letter, but it just gives you some ideas of what things start with the different letters. Okay, so for my I could do like ice cream cone or igloo or ice or insect. For my C, I could do cat or cow or camel or castle or car, any of those things. So this sheet is on Schoology. So if you need to go click on that and take a look, or I don't know if you could zoom on your computer right now and pause this and zoom in and come back and forth, that's up to you. Whichever way you think works the best for you to do that. Or just come up with it in your imagination. Ask somebody at your house, what starts with an H? What starts with a J? I'm sure you can think of a bunch of things that you could do that with, okay? But this will be on Schoology if you want to look at that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to sketch something for each of these, okay? So let's say I sketch it, and let's say I want this to be my final. So once I get something for each letter, I can go in and now I could ink it. Okay, so I can go in with my ink pen or my marker or whatever I'm doing the ink with it. Okay, so I can go in and do my inking, and then I can take an eraser and erase my pencil lines before I put color in. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. The other way is to just take your paper and say, okay, I'm going to draw a ground right about here, and I'm going to print my name up at the top. And then in my picture, they don't have to be in order. In my picture, I've got to put, like the motorcycle, I could sketch the motorcycle right here. Maybe I want to do an igloo, so I might do this kind of thing and put some kind of igloo back here. Okay, so I could sketch that in. I could sketch a cat for the C sitting by the igloo. I could do a tree for the T in Brant. I could put a tree in here and do that. And all of the things in there and make it a picture. So you can either do it as your name list, or you can do it as a picture. And I do have some final ones that I want to show you. But I don't want to go too far into this because I want this to be something that you come up with the ideas. So each of your letters have to be represented by an object. And here's one that I took a lot more time on to finish up, but here's mine. So I did a motorcycle for M, and an igloo, and a cat, and a hedgehog for H, an apple for A, an elephant for E, a lion for L, and then a banana for B, a rhino for R, an alien for the A, because I didn't want to do the same a net for N, a dog for D, and a tree for the T. So this is one way that you can create your artwork in kind of a list form, just like your name would be. Or you can do like this. You could take and put your name up in the sky, and then you put all the things represented in there. Okay, so that if people are looking, they say, okay, it's kind of like a Where's Waldo? You get to find where it's at. So M, which one starts with M? Oh, motorcycle. The I, the igloo. And people can try to figure out which ones represent each. But it makes a really cool picture just by thinking about your name and objects that start with each letter of your name. And so you can color yours in with marker, with crayon, with color pencil, any way that you want. But I want you to be creative in this and come up with how you would put your name in symbols or pictures, okay? So you can sketch it. This could be your rough sketch, and then you could redo it, or you could sketch it lightly and then ink it and erase the pencil lines. You can overlap things, like my motorcycles in front of the igloo a little bit. You can do it that way, or you can draw them smaller. This is really up to you how you would lay out this project. This is my alphabet drawing. I hope you have fun with it. I hope you really try your best and see what you can come up with. Send them to me if you'd like. I'd love to see them all finished up. Have a great day, and remember, art is essential.